Yo, 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 let's get the business.
Yo, let's get the business. How's everybody feeling out there today? Man, it's been a lovely holiday season. I want to shout out to everybody. Hope everybody's had a brilliant and fun holidays. It's been fun for me. Don't put too much pressure on yourself. Just take the holidays for what they are, whether it be you off of work or you get a peace of mind or you get to refresh or spend time with your loved ones and your family. I know people struggle sometimes during this time, but my only advice is to, stay level headed, take the good with the bad. You know what I mean? Just take the time for what it is. You know what I mean? And don't put too much pressure on yourself about it. You know, just rest, relax, refresh, do what you got to do, and try to enjoy yourself. But yo, let's get the business. Tap into my clothing company. I'll put some links in the bottom in the description. Go ahead and subscribe, tap in. We're gonna talk some sports, and you already know we tap into my personality. We talk about what we want to talk about on here. So yo, it's been a little minute. So you know, I gotta spin the block one time with you all. See how y'all been doing out there. So check out my previous episodes of Let's Get the Business podcast. You're better off doing that. You know what I mean? If not, you're behind a little bit, and that's cool because sometimes I just spit them things out. I come pretty rapidly, and I know as life is, things move pretty fast. So if you need to tap in on one of those, the last episode was with Jennifer Swope. Shout out to her. It's been a couple weeks ago. I'm tapping in with some sports today, though. So, yo, what's crack-a-lacking out there? The Heisman race went kind of crazy. It went pretty wild. It was a nice race. I feel like, you know, uh, the most obvious, what I would say, or the expected selection is what happened with Travis Hunter getting the Heisman Trophy, with Aston Genty following pretty close behind him. Um, I just, man, hey, it looks nice to me, man. I get excited and thrilled to watch a skilled player receive the trophy like that because not too many skilled players get the trophy. Usually, they try to hand it to the quarterback. Usually, you know what I mean, and that's traditionally that's how the award goes. But there has been some skilled players just won it. And Travis Hunter being a new one. So, man, shout out to him, man. He's electrifying. He's an incredible, phenomenal athlete. I just watched some highlights of even his brother coming up. He's extremely just super fast and lightning fast. You know what I mean? Running them routes, and he got those sticky hands. Yo, and of course the late controversy, or what I should say, or what's been highlighted, um, other than his award, has been his situation with his woman or whatnot, and that's basically taken over the media, and it's kind of shameful how that took over his accomplishments. It took over the spotlight of his accomplishments, and I don't like that part of it. You know what I mean? But as far as the subject matter, we've all been there. We've all been confused about life and companionship and things of that nature. You know what I mean? A lot of us didn't even have people coming up to put us up on game about, how young men should talk to women or cooperate and operate with women and things of that nature. So I just feel like he's young. He should be appreciated for the superb athlete that he is, and the cool young man that he is. And you can tell he has fun playing the game of football. And I just feel like the greater things, the more positive things should be highlighted about him right now. You know what I mean? But let's get to business with this. What about the return of the value of running backs in the game of football? That's something that I wanted to touch base on a little bit because, you got Gibbs that plays for the Detroit Lions. He gets busy. He's promised a good rushing game every game. Of course, you got Derrick Henry over there, up there in Baltimore, doing his thug thizzle, doing his thing. He's been rushing the football with a tremendous amount of consistency all season. You know what I mean? And then you got, Ashton Genty closing in on Barry Sanders' record in college for the Boise State. You know what I mean? You got a few more running backs in the NFL that's been emerging this year and has really took their team to the next level. I know Chase Brown has some good stats for the Cincinnati Bengals. Yo, there's been a lot of running backs getting busy this year, emerging. So I wanted to highlight that, man. That's something that's just been pretty significant throughout the whole season. And it's kind of like, yo, running backs are still valuable. You know what I mean? Not to say that they weren't, but it's just been a transformation of the game of football to where the air attack has been on another level. And a lot of programs, a lot of college programs, a lot of NFL programs, they have edged towards and leaned towards that style of play. You know what I mean? With the good quarterback that can get the ball in the right hands of the right receivers. A lot of routes, a lot of speed on the field. Because that's hard to handle. But let's get to business. UK, they stomped the mud hole in U of L basketball. Shout out to them Wildcats. But here lately, the Wildcats, they've been slumping a little bit, coming off a loss to Ohio State on a mutual court. I didn't like seeing that. That was ugly. Hopefully we can bounce back and get it together, man, because that was one of those games where their guards for Ohio State, they got the best of us. They outplayed our guards. Let's see if Lamont Butler can get back and start getting busy with it again. We need you, Lamont. We need that. I would say that Jackson Robinson didn't have a good game at all either. There wasn't a lot of energy that was on the court like there usually is. And I want to say that Kirk Creasum, the absence of him may have a lot to do with that. And we don't want to make excuses for people that's there and who's playing and whatnot, because it's a team sport. It's about your squad. It's about the togetherness of the game of basketball. But Creasa has that certain energy that he brings, that spark that he brings off the bench. And you know what I'm talking about if you know the game of basketball. That's the reason why certain players come off the bench, because it changes up the dynamics of the game. It changes up the pace of the game. It switches it up, and it kind of it could throw the other team off if they're not ready for it. You know what I mean? So I feel like as far as energy wise, that had a lot to do with how bad we played against the Ohio State Buckeyes. Yo, and I seen Aaron Bradshaw hooping out there. They used to play for UK. Shout out to Aaron Bradshaw. He's 7 foot, and he actually made some pretty good plays against us. So shout out to him. Yo, but yeah, we got to get it together, man. BBN, we got to get it together. Let's get back to that team chemistry basketball that we were playing a few weeks ago. That's what we need to go back to. We need to get more confident in taking our jump shots. We need to get more confident offensively and defensively. We got to get it together. But I just seemed like it was one of those games where, things just sometimes, they just don't click. It was one of those joints. Let's get to business with this, though. Let's talk about the sad Cowboys real quick. You know what I mean? Let's go ahead and cover them real quick. Shout out to them. They're coming off a victory, I believe. They winning basically when it don't matter, because the same day they basically got unclinched for a chance at the playoff berth, with some other teams winning, to my understanding. I'm not sure the specifics, but there was a team that won, and that kind of sealed the deal on that. But then they turned around and won their game. You know what I mean? They had a very passionate W too. And I'm like, yo, of course y'all gonna start playing now. And I hate when teams do that, man. Y'all getting together, they clicking. They was intercepting the ball, you know what I mean? Micah Parsons was just harassing the quarterback. He was getting busy. There was Bland made a big play there toward the end of the game. I believe stripping the ball. It was pretty interesting. So y'all want to turn it up now, huh? And Mike McCarthy had to look like, yeah, yeah, yeah. You know what I mean? I got my franchise under control. Nah, you don't. But I'll take the W for what it was, and we'll see what's going on next year with them. You know what I mean? I'm done with y'all. I'm done with the Cowboys. I'm done with y'all. Y'all the most bipolar thing going on in my life right now. And I don't need that. You know what I mean? But shout out to the W. Um, I seen the Chiefs. They knocked down the Shitsburg Steelers. I believe it was 29-10. Don't hold me on that. Not sure of the score, but when I got done watching the game, that was the score when I stopped watching it. And that wasn't the end of the game. But what stood out to me about this game on Christmas Day, shout out to the Chiefs. Shout out to the Steelers, which they've had a pretty comeback season. It's been a pretty solid season. After they added Russell Wilson as an addition and put him back in the quarterback slot. But this game, Travis Kelce had a good game. Finally, Travis Kelce's he got it popping. You know what I mean? I'm like, because he's on my fantasy team, so I'm like, 1 week he gives me like 8 points. The next week, who knows? 5 points. Then he could hit you with 11 or something like that. But the week that I put him on the bench, that's when he starts you want to get it popping and crack-a-lacking. And I'm like, of course he would do that. And he come with like 20-something points this week. But shout out to the Travis Kelce. He's capable, but he just seemed a step quicker. He usually seems a step slower. But I don't know. On Christmas Day, he was getting busy. He came ready to play. And another thing that was significant and that stood out was a Pittsburgh Steelers defense that usually shows up and shows out. That steel curtain defense, that good old steel curtain that y'all like to see. They didn't show up. They gave up the points. Obviously, they couldn't guard Kelce. He coming across the middle and doing those sit down routes that the tight ends do. Those tight end dumps and things of that nature. Coming across, run the crossing routes and the 12-yard outs and the 7-yard outs. You know what I mean? He was getting busy. Hey, Russell Wilson, I seen where he put in his best efforts. He tried to make some big plays. The first couple of possessions, unsuccessful, of course. Kind of fumbled the ball around. I think he ran one in for a TD. He took one to the bar. But obviously, with Russell Wilson and Pickens, basically their offense just holding on the backs of them and just basically relying on whatever they can get going for the offense. That's kind of what it looked like to me. You know what I mean? Because usually a defense that they can rely on wasn't showing up. When you don't put up the points, you're definitely not going to beat the Chiefs. And, the Chiefs just find a way to win often. So we'll see what's going on. The postseason is coming up. We're going to get it cracking. I'll be back to discuss a little bit of this because it's going to get, when it comes down to the marbles in the NFL, that's when it matters. Speaking of coming out to the marbles, Lamar Jackson broke the record for the most rushing yards ever by a quarterback, ever. Passing up Michael Vick, but shout out to Mike Vick. That was a bad man back in the day. He was, man, what a human highlight reel coming up watching Michael Vick play. So watching Lamar Jackson is like 2.0 of him. And I would say that they are different in a lot of different ways. But Lamar Jackson, 6,109 rushing yards, the most ever. And broken on Christmas Day. And it just looks so special and remarkable. And, it's just something to withhold and something to be inspired from. I like to get inspired. And I like to just watch people have fun. And, records were made to be broke. Also, Lamar being just a stand-up professional guy, and big-hearted, heavy-hearted, nice role model. Um, Coming out of the College of Louisville, winning the Heisman Trophy, showing his fans appreciation all the time, always showing the kids love, extra love, because I be seeing him putting in extra effort to get those autographs signed. You know what I mean? That lets me know that he's appreciative of the situation that he's in and how much success he's obtained and he's maintained throughout the years. So shout out to Lamar Jackson, man, rushing that football. And that's just cool, man. Quarterback rushing the ball. That's dope, man. So shout out to Lamar, man. I don't know what his 40 is, but he's still pretty fast. And I love the tandem of Lamar Jackson with Derrick Henry because when you got two guys that give you that many rushing yards on a consistent basis, yo, it's almost like a cheat code, bro. It's almost like Madden numbers. You putting up PlayStation 5 Madden numbers with those, you know? So then anything extra coming out with the passing game is just it's phenomenal. You know, if you can implement those two and have that balance going. And they took care of business. Also winning on Christmas Day, blowout. I believe it was 31-2 against the Texans. Stroud and company, they look stressed out there. 31-2. I guess they must have got a safety or something like that. But yo, we'll see what's going on with the sports world later on down the road. But everybody stay strong, man. Stay focused out there. And stay tuned, stay locked in. I'm gonna come back and have some fun with y'all. You know what I mean? And shout out to the Tennessee Women's Volunteers. They set a record as well. Yeah. They set a record for all those 3-point field goals made. I think 30 in a single game. That means they was shooting the lights out. Shout out to them girls, man. Tennessee got a nice tradition in the women's basketball program too. They really do. Those years where they had Shamiqua Whole Squall and all those great girls. I believe Cheryl Swoops, if I'm not mistaken. But they had a nice, tremendous amount of talent come out of the Tennessee for the girls basketball program, and that record is pretty crazy. 30 triples, yes. Yo, stay locked in with me though. Let's get to business.
Yo, let's get the business.